Hello, and welcome to the Bluegrass Sports Show. Or,
The BS Show. We are two fat guys talking crap. We are the pinchers of tinctures.
and today, I'm Carl.
I'm Barry.
And today we are doing a draft of football team, or we're making our football teams. But all we're picking is we're going to draft quarterback, wide receiver, or running back, tight end, two wide receivers, a defense, a specific year defense, sort of like fantasy football, and a kicker. And today we're going to do a draft. We're not going to pick those in any specific order, just that we feel necessary or when we want to. But we're going to do a serpentine draft, which is how we should have been doing the draft all along. But that's my fault.
Tell them whose fault that was.
It's my fault. So I'm going to pick first. So he's going to go second, third, fourth, fifth, that kind of thing.
Would you like to know just a little bit of insight I've already heard about our list?
What's that?
Shaq knows both of our lists, and he said my list is better.
So we got Perry the Animal, the Idiot. But I guess we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this for you guys. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So at the number one pick, I'm taking.
And let me make something.
Well, we're not getting started just yet, are we?
Before we do. If you're a fan of our quarterback list, whether you are or not, this list for me, I'm not making based off. It's kind of going back to our baseball lineup that we
Right.
made.
It's not necessarily.
I made a lineup who I would specifically take to fit this system
Right.
that I'm building with my team. So go ahead.
Okay. So for mine, I'm taking Jerry Rice, number one.
Jerry Rice, number one.
Jerry Rice, number one.
Okay. Now, to counter Jerry Rice, I'm going to take the greatest wide receiver of all time. I'm taking Randy Moss.
I don't know that he's the greatest.
He's the greatest.
But he's on my list of draft.
He's the
so
greatest.
Screw you.
He's the greatest.
I don't know if he's the greatest.
He's the
but
greatest.
He was up there. I wanted him bad.
He's the greatest.
I wanted him bad. He's the greatest physically.
He's the greatest.
But anyway.
He had Tom Brady towards the end of his prime as a wide receiver, and look at the numbers he put up. If he's like Jerry Rice and has the best of Joe Montana and then the best of Steve Young,
he's a monster, though. Physically, he's a monster.
Randy Moss.
He's a monster.
Randy
I wanted him. He was on my list to draft, but you took him.
Well, that's the reason why I went ahead and took him, because I knew you was going to be a little nefarious badger and take my number one wide receiver.
So who's your second pick?
My second pick, what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to cue you in to what my strategy is. I'm going with versatility for my team. Now, turn your ringer off. First and foremost, I will not be interrupted with my picks by being again. Professionalism.
Landon.
Professionalism.
Landon, we're trying to record, man.
Professionalism. I'm going with my running back here.
Oh, okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you I'm taking a back that is explosive with speed. Also got some pop to him, can hit. But he's also really great at taking passes out of the backfield for ultimate versatility.
What's that?
I'm taking LaDainian Tomlinson.
I knew it! LT!
I'm taking LaDainian Tomlinson. Because
I love LT.
he can control both sides in that aspect. Now, going back...
And he can also make passes as a running back, too. He's crazy.
I don't make the rules,
He's
but
crazy.
I make the best teams. I don't know why we're even doing this anymore. Just go ahead and say, Perry, your team is going to be better. I'm going to make one. But, okay. Now, go ahead for your second pick.
My second pick.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm picking Calvin Johnson.
Taking Calvin Johnson.
So now I got my wide receiver set up. And I don't, I'm gonna save it till the end to give my reasonings. But so at running back, well, no, screw running back. You already got one.
At this point, where you've already went and revealed what you're going with your wideouts, you're going deep passes. You're going with wideouts that's going to make plays downfield. I'm going
not necessarily.
Yes.
Though.
For the most part.
Also,
that was Jerry Rice's and Calvin Johnson.
But they could also just rise up above you. And
I understand. What I'm going to do, I'm going to burn you with the best secondary of all time. Right now, I'm taking the Legion of Boom.
It's not your pick. It's my pick.
Dang it, it is. I'm not taking the Legion of Boom. Do not take my defense.
I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and grab my tight end.
Okay.
And that's Tony Gonzalez.
I like Tony Gonzalez.
He's tough.
I'm going to tell you, Tony Gonzalez has, if Witten hasn't passed him at this point.
Witten's tough, too. I thought about Witten.
Gonzalez held all records for tight ends, but he was really the first tight end of any major standard of the modern era tight
But
end.
he's really
I think
good.
there's been several better.
Rob Gronkowski will be there.
I've thought about Gronk with mine,
Yeah,
and I'm
Gronk's
trying to
tough.
decide if I'm going to.
He's
So,
tough.
Now here's where I'm taking the Legion of Boom. I'm taking the 14 Seahawks secondary and
Alright.
defense. Go ahead and try to throw on them. Ask Peyton how that worked.
All right. Yeah, but Peyton was older than crap. But anyway,
Peyton set records the entire season for
He's still
throwing
old.
touchdowns, and then
he's still old.
Peyton throws ducks. I throw touchdown ducks. No, he threw touchdown interceptions the entire game. The Seahawks
All right.
dominated him with that
So-
defense. So I'm taking the
Oh,
14
you get another
Seahawks.
pick.
Yeah, it's my pick.
What do
Don't
you- what-
don't be a loser.
How many
Don't
we
be
pick? Really?
don't be an amateur and go
Really?
and jump picks. We don't allow that. Professionalism.
So, how many have we picked? How
Well,
many do I got left?
I've got my back and I've got my first receiver.
I got 3. Okay, go ahead.
Yep, I've got my 3.
All right.
Now
No, you
here's
got
where
4.
I'm going to trick you up.
Trick me up.
Yes. You're going with 2 burners at receiver. I'm putting my second receiver in the slot.
Oh,
I'm going Wes Welker.
yeah, Wes Welker. He's tough too.
Wes Welker,
He's
the
tough. Just a little
greatest,
short.
doesn't matter.
Just a little short. But he's tough.
Greatest slot receiver of all time.
Probably is. I mean, he's
My
tough.
secondary option here, just to give you maybe an idea that you can't take now because you took 2
All
burners. Hey, Keyshawn Johnson, my secondary option here.
Ooh,
But I'm going Wes
Keyshawn
Welker.
Johnson. I like Johnson
Because
too.
Wes Welker is going to be enough of a weapon underneath to where you have to continuously monitor that underneath passing game.
Right.
And then over top, you've got Randy Moss. There's no defense in NFL history that you can come up with outside of the Legion of Boom, who has the athletes of the modern day passing game
Right.
to defend that.
So,
There's no defense of that.
will you wait till the end to give your reasoning? We got to finish the draft.
I'm excited because
So-
I already feel like I'm winning.
Well, you can feel however you want. Don't mean nothing.
He feels it. I told
So-
you, Shaq likes my team. He's grinning.
I'm going to grab defense right now. I'm still trying to decide who to pick where. I'm grabbing defense, and I'm going to go with the 2003 Ravens.
Have them.
I'm going to go with them.
You've got an elite pass rush. You got a decent secondary, but it's not the Seahawks.
And I don't think Wes Welker destroys them. I just don't. But anyway,
Wes Welker doesn't have to destroy him. Wes Welker has to do enough to distract. By the way, you've made my decision for me. Go ahead. I'll tell you why in a minute.
that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and grab a kicker. Wow, this is the weirdest draft ever. Quarterback's on the last pick. That's weird. But anyway, all right, I'm going to grab kicker just in case we're put in a tight spot. And I'm going to grab Adam Vinatieri.
Adam Vinatieri.
However you say his name.
Vinatieri.
He's stupid. His last name's stupid. But he's tough.
He was my second option.
He's tough.
He's my second option.
So it's your pick,
Okay.
I think.
It is. At this point, see, I have quarterback left, I have kicker left, I have tight end left. Okay, I took my back, I took both my receivers, and I took my defense.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead because depending on who you take with your quarterback will depend on who I go with my tight end. Trust me, because I'm just making sure you're not taking one of my quarterbacks here.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
But I'm going to have to take a quarterback or a tight end right here, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, my toe!
Well, you should wear shoes. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take Dan Bailey as my kicker. He's the modern day kicker of the Dallas Cowboys. The highest accuracy in kicking, field goal kicking, extra points in the history of the NFL. I just want accuracy.
Justin Tucker's ahead of him.
No, he's not.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% positive.
Okay. He was ahead of him.
You've already tried this with stats before, and every time I made you look like a fool. Go ahead and tell them how many.
He used to be there.
Go ahead and tell them how many passing touchdowns Mr.
No, we ain't
47
getting into
touchdowns
that.
in a
We ain't
season
getting
Matt
into that.
Castle had.
That was a false stat line that I saw. Sorry. False stat line.
It's dominating everything. It's right here. This guy.
What's your opinion?
Okay. I'm going
It's
to
right
go
up there
ahead.
with trash. So.
I'm going to take my tight end now, and I'm actually going backwards this time. I'm taking my second option over my first option because I don't think you're going to take my quarterback. I'm taking Gronk because he's the most
Versatile.
versatile. He's a good passer. He's a good run
Everything.
blocker, and he's the most elite weapon outside of maybe Jimmy Graham for his 5 minutes of fame with the
Yeah.
Saints. He's the most elite weapon that the tight end position's ever known. He just can't stay healthy.
Right.
I'm banking on him staying healthy. I'm turning injuries off whenever we play these games. He's not getting hurt. And Gronk's going to be my man.
All right. So I'm going quarterback. I'm going Brady.
Okay. You didn't take my quarterback. I'm tickled to death.
I'm going Brady. I hate going Brady, but I'm going Brady. But anyway.
Oh,
it's my pick.
Yeah, you get to pick your running back. Is that where you're at?
Oh, yeah, I guess I am a running back. Okay. And I'm going Barry Sanders.
Oh, I can understand why you take Barry Sanders, sir. I can. I don't like him for your scheme because you went with no scheme whatsoever with your team. You just
I really
picked and
haven't. Not
poked
this
everywhere.
Not this one.
What I've done,
I did with Tom Brady for my receivers. That's all I did.
What I'm going with my quarterback, I went with a direct scheme here. Can you tell me what my scheme is?
No.
Versatility.
You're always versatile.
Now,
I ain't worried about that.
Whenever you look at Jordy Nelson and you see Randall Cobb in Green Bay, what do you see? Jordy Nelson's your downfield threat. Randall Cobb's the perfect slot receiver. Okay? Okay, versatility. Whenever you
I don't know about all that.
Randall Cobb's the man.
I'm not a huge Cobb fan, even though he played at Kentucky.
You're a joke. Anyway, whenever you look at LaDainian Tomlinson, not only the explosiveness and the ability to give you 150 yards on the ground, he's going to give you 70 or 80 in the air if you run screens or you just throw out in the flats to him. What better quarterback?
He's getting a lot of touches and throws at that point.
What better quarterback to have whenever you need the most elite, whenever you have the perfect system? You have the perfect defense on the other side. No, would you hush? You have the perfect system.
I don't know if you have the perfect defense. It ain't like they didn't have holes.
Well, go back and look at the Super Bowl that they won and then the Super Bowl that Pete Carroll choked away.
I don't want to talk about that. I was cheering for the Seahawks. I don't talk about that.
You go back and you look at that defense and tell me that defense had holes.
Every defense has holes.
That defense was
you just got to know how to play
flawless.
No, they wouldn't.
But anyways,
no defense is flawless.
Best secondary in the history of the league.
I don't care. It don't make them flawless.
It does whenever you're playing as a throw downfield with Tom Brady.
So it does when you take in my team is what you're saying. That don't make them flawless.
Well,
they are
my defense.
Flawless.
I took that defense and designed to counter your. Okay, because my other option was the 85 Bears.
But anyway,
but you went downfield, so I got a defense to pin downfield. But anyways,
that don't mean they're flawless.
If you're going to have the deep threat,
just pick your quarterback. Then we talk teams.
Would you hush? If you're going to have the most elite deep threat in NFL history in Randy Moss.
Yeah.
The most elite slot receiver in NFL history in Wes Welker. The most lethal option at tight end as far as being unstoppable, and you want someone to put that pass in the most perfect, precise spot to where only he can take it, and you got LT to throw to in the backfield, I'm going with Mr. Accuracy. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Because not only will Aaron Rodgers put the ball perfect. Now, once again, I don't have Rodgers in my top 5, but for this specific team, the team is built perfect for him to be the quarterback.
And he's tough.
Not only Rodgers will do all this immaculate stuff through the air with these weapons, Rodgers can put the ball under his arm and go. Rodgers is
a little bit.
No, he is excellent. He's got 17 career rushing touchdowns already. And that's not counting.
He's in his early 30s.
Who cares?
That's not already.
Dan Marino, the record is Steve Young with like 30-something.
Touchdowns?
Rushing touchdowns on the ground. Steve Young's the greatest dual threat quarterback of all time. And I'm not putting Cam Newton in that lineup. I'm not putting Michael Vick in that lineup. I'm putting someone who, if he has to scramble. Now, with your defense, it's going to make it hard for him to do that. But it's going to be hard for anybody to scramble on that defense. But I'm looking at someone with.
No, I see completely why you're taking Aaron Rodgers. I do. And the only reason I took Tom Brady is because over Peyton Manning, who was wanting to pick. But Peyton Manning doesn't necessarily have maybe the arm strength Brady's got. I think Brady might beat him in arm strength. And I would take Brett Favre there. but he's going to just throw interceptions all day. So
I'm glad we agree with that.
so that's why that. But he's definitely got one of the greatest arm strengths of all time. So I had to pick somebody that was at least pretty accurate, not Brett Favre. But I like my team, but there's not. I see what you're saying with the scheme, but it's not about scheme. My run, Barry Sanders is tough, and my run's going to be enough to pull you up. And Barry Sanders can also catch out of the backfield.
Agree.
He just never had a great quarterback
I agree.
to get him the ball either.
Agree.
So I believe I'm going to be able to pull you in. And then these two guys, you talked about them being deep threats. I understand that they love to go deep, but they can also rise up above. And when you talk about that Seattle Seahawks defense and the athletes that's on it, they're still not the size of Megatron. Megatron's going to be able to rise up above people and catch the football. And all you got to do is throw it up above their head where they can't get it. Megatron's going to get it. Megatron's a beast, and he can be very versatile.
I'm not telling you that my defense is going to shut down
But you're wanting them to hold us down
Johnson,
long enough for you to win.
containing.
Yeah.
Because
I know what you're saying.
The system that I have put in place, see, that's what you did separate from mine. You went through and made an ultimate Pro Bowl team.
Well,
you did.
Not really.
You did. You drafted the same type of receiver at both spots.
Yeah, but that's not intentionally.
You drafted.
You know what I mean?
Maybe the best running back of all time.
This was not planned, and that was intentional. But it wasn't planned out.
But I drafted arguably a top 5 running back, specifically in mind with what I wanted to pair. My other quarterback option was Steve Young.
I seriously would have taken LT had you not picked him.
Had you not taken that Ravens defense, which was great at stopping the run,
right?
I probably would have took Steve Young.
Right.
Because that would have been the ultimate versatile. He had a 96 for a passer rating, which is immaculate.
Yeah.
For his career. But I want Rodgers because with the defense that you have, I'm going to have someone that not only has elite pocket presence, but whenever he has 300 career touchdowns and less than 100 interceptions, less than 80 interceptions. The only quarterback in NFL history to ever do that.
He's tough. I had him in my top 5. You don't have to coach me.
Adam Smith, thank you for all these stats, by the way.
But you don't have to coach me. I've got him in my top 5.
I'm not putting Rodgers in my top 5 quarterbacks of all time.
I am.
But if you have the perfect scheme,
for Aaron Rodgers,
lineup for Aaron Rodgers, his skill set alone makes it a no-brainer.
No, it's too hard. I was thinking, what do you think about throwing in coach? But no, it's too hard.
Yeah,
I'd have to think about it.
Different schemes, different coaches.
Right.
It is what it is. I would seriously consider going with John Fox or possibly going with Belichick for my system because of Wes Welker.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I would consider.
I would honestly like Belichick in my system, too.
Well, you being the ultimate Tom Brady hater saying all these accomplishments are because of Bill Belichick.
No.
Naturally, you would like Belichick.
See, and that's what he apparently never is going to understand. And that's what I didn't get to fully explain in our quarterback video. But when I talk about Tom Brady, I'm only talking me watching as a player, and by no means am I saying he's a bad quarterback. By no means. Or else I wouldn't have picked him in my draft. He's not a bad quarterback. I just don't consider him the GOAT, is all I'm saying. But he's by no means a bad quarterback. So, and I said Bill Belichick has something to do with it. That doesn't mean it's all him, but it's not all Tom Brady, but you're giving Tom Brady all the credit.
Well, Phil Jackson had something to do with Mike and had something to do with Kobe and Shaq and had something to do with Kobe and Powell.
But when we talk about, that's the difference between football and basketball. You're talking about football, you're talking about one player, right? Tom Brady. He gets all the credit for those 5 championships.
Not all of the credit, but he deserves a lot of credit. He and Belichick's the only common denominator.
Right, I agree. I agree with that. Okay, in Phil Jackson's title, he's always had who was considered to be the best player in the league at that time on his team when he won those championships.
I can understand what you're saying.
So if we did the top 5 coaches, Phil Jackson might make mine, may not.
He's going to make mine.
He might not make mine because that's how I look at Phil Jackson. You've always had greatness around you all the time
11 championships speaks for himself.
as a player and a coach.
No, as a coach. He had 3 3-peats.
Oh yeah.
3
Right.
3-peats and then
The 5
and
with
then
Kobe, yeah.
and then back to back with Kobe and Powell.
Yeah.
11 championships speaks for itself.
Yeah, 11 championships. A great player.
Who cares?
If Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time because he won 3-peats back to back, then you can't say Phil Jackson's the greatest coach of all time for coaching the team to 3-peats back and back, because those don't go hand in hand. Either the coach had more to do with it or the player had more to do with it. And in basketball, the player had more to do with it.
Not necessarily. Sometimes the best music is multiple pieces of instruments that mesh perfectly together.
Okay. Anyway.
It's been a fun video. Once again, he's been owned.
No, I disagree. In Perry's opinion, he wins.
My opinion.
But in Perry's opinion, he looks cute. I definitely don't see it.
I'm adorable. Shaq says I have nice ears.
Does he?
He does. He likes my ears.
Nobody could see him for the hair. If only this part stuck out as much as this part, they wouldn't be able to see him at all. But
Well,
anyway,
they can see him for your fat cheeks.
Hey, I never said I was cute.
Oh,
I'm sexy.
in the video.
Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching.
Sharing
If you
with
liked it,
viewers.
hit the like button and hit that subscribe button as well. Sorry, I'm looking at the weather. It looks like it's about to rain. But anyway,
Oh, when down.
I got a wee need. So,
You're praying for rain.
yeah. So,
A Jeff Burton rain dance.
thank you guys for watching. As always, come back. Have a good day.